We are revisiting the very first episode of iamjazz where the Jennings make their television debut. The family introduces themselves and have dinner outside. Jazz, in my opinion, was such a cute baby with the dimples, and it makes me sad to think about what this family turned him into. Jeanette tells the story of how Jazz walked up to her and asked when the God Fairy will change his pee to a vag. This whole situation makes me cringe because who lets a 2-year-old make such a drastic decision? Only Jeanette. That's who. They tell us that they took Jazz to a doctor at 3 years old, and the doctor held up 2 dolls, one with boy parts and the other with girl parts, and asked this kid, who was clearly playing dress up, which do you have and which one do you want? You guys just let that sink in. Jazz years later gave us the infamous line of, I have a girl brain and a boy body. I call BS, honestly, and this feels like they were coaching Jazz, especially since Jeanette stated that Jazz is not normal based on a statement that a 2-year-old made. Like, who says that? Who says their kid is not normal? Jazz is heading to high school in this current episode, and during a car ride, he asks Ari about high school, and what I got from this scene is that Jazz wanted to be exactly like Ari. Even the name Jazz is derived from when Ari played Jasmine in the show Aladdin. Jazz was essentially mimicking everything he saw Ari doing, which is why he's so feminine and wanted to be a girl, quote unquote. The grandparents arrive and they basically talk to Jeanette, and I honestly believe the grandparents don't really believe this crap, but they have to save face for the cameras. Apparently they've been doing research on their own, basically reading up on transgenderism, talking to other people, and Jazz has an upcoming doc appointment based on what Jeanette tells us. I hollered when Jazz told the story of giant mustaches and beards chasing him in a dream at 2 or 3 years old while sitting in the confessional with a 5 o'clock shadow mustache. I'm just like, Jazz, the irony of it all, because unfortunately, Jazz, the mustache has attached to your face in real life. And of course, Jeanette told him he would never let that dream happen to him in real life. When Jazz ran to her to tell her the story after he had woken up, like, ugh, Jeanette, you are such an enabler to delusion. Jazz wants to get on higher estrogen levels, and he's currently on hormone blockers and estrogen, and he basically wants to develop faster as a woman, quote unquote. And here we have a lovely quote from Jeanette. This is experimental stuff. I am messing with my kid's body. Oh, Jeanette, you're messing with your kid's body? This is an experiment? But when I call it an experiment, it's a problem, and people in the transgender community say I'm a hater, I am transphobic, but this lady can say that this is experimental stuff and she's messing with her own kid's body. Let that sink in, you guys, because these people are crazy. Who is messing with a kid's body? This is sick. Jazz and Ari do go swimsuit shopping, and Jazz told us at 5 years old was the last time he felt comfortable in a bikini. I'm trying to figure out why the hell Jazz is so obsessed with growing big boobs. Like, what is the obsession? Like, is that what it entails to be a woman? Big boobs? The twins and Jazz head to the beach, and of course on the car ride there, they talk about boobs, butt, and straight guys not liking Jazz because he is transgender. And I'm just like, of course they're not gonna like you, Jazz. They're straight, okay? Stop trying to turn these straight boys into gay men, okay? Jazz and Jeanette go makeup shopping in the next scene, and Jazz gets his makeup done by the store associate. They then head over to a cafe, and all of a sudden 2 random dudes walk by and call Jazz a tranny freak, and in my honest opinion, this scene looked fake. Sorry, not sorry. Then Jeanette was upset, and Jazz told her not to worry about it because they are just stupid punks. Then Jeanette tells Jazz he will understand why she's so overprotective one day when he's a mom, and my question is, how is that possible, Jeanette? In the confessional, Jazz tells us as a kid he was bullied, and a kid was calling him an it because he's transgender, which you know, it is offensive, not an it, you know. Don't call Jazz an it, that's not nice. Maybe a he, but certainly not an it. That is quite offensive, okay? The parents and grandparents have dinner, and Jazz has a sleepover with friends. During the sleepover, they compare boobs, okay? And Jazz talks about how boys think they are gay for liking him, and this is how the brainwashing and the indoctrination starts. I mean, Jazz, think about it. Why wouldn't a straight boy think he's gay for liking another boy? Why is Jazz trying to flip something that's obviously true? I wonder. Jazz is nervous about the doc appointment that's coming up concerning Jazz's testosterone levels. Jeanette tells the grandparents that she doesn't talk to Jazz about bottom surgery, and that there are 16-year-olds who have gotten the bottom surgery, which in my opinion should be illegal in any country, okay? Jazz and Jeanette head to the doc appointment, and what I find to be a bit disturbing about transgenders is how they try to reconstruct their bodies and why they think big boobs and a big butt will make you a woman. Like, why do you guys overly sexualize women in general? Like, that is not all there is to actual womanhood. To answer Jeanette's question, no, Jazz will not inherit your genes in the boobs department. Sorry, Jeanette, it's not gonna happen. They are currently in the doctor's office right now, and Jeanette is scared of Jazz's male puberty for some odd reason. And then the doctor proceeds to say that the hormone blockers are working, the testosterone levels are low, but Jazz's estrogen levels are also low. At the end of the day, Jazz opts to wait for a higher dose of estrogen because he still wants to grow in height, so he wants to grow at a steady pace, essentially. The conversation then deviates to breast implants and bottom surgery, and the doctor suggests Jazz be completely done growing before any major surgery, which of course Jazz and Jeanette did not listen to because Jazz got snipped at a tender age, okay? Not when he was done maturing. Jazz says he's not 100% sure if he's going to have bottom surgery and jokes about not dying a virgin. Like really. This kid was way in over his head and didn't realize the gravity of this surgery. You don't want to die a virgin? That is not all of your worries, Jazz. You needed to be worrying about the crappy surgery that you were about to undergo. The next scene, Jeanette fills Greg in on the doc appointment. Of course, she cries about taking some of Jazz's burden away. And I'm like, girl, bye. And this is the end of the episode. You guys tell me, what do you think about the first episode of I Am Jazz?